This is Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Ghost of Christmas, a trick-taking game with a little, I don't want to say time travel, but a time element to it, and I love using time in unique ways in games. And that actually isn't even my favorite mechanism, but I'll mention that really briefly. So the way that time matters in the game, you can kind of see it in the background here. We were playing a 4-player game, so they were all 4 time periods in the game. When you start a trick in this game, you choose the time period for that trick. And so it means that different tricks can be happening at different times. So if I lead with a certain card, other people don't have to follow the trick in that same time period. So just to use an example here, so in this hand, say I have this 10 of hearts. I lead it in a time period. Say I lead it in the past. So I put it in the past. And really, the past, present, future doesn't matter all that much, other than the order in which they are activated. So they do matter a little bit. But I'm choosing the past. I play that 10 in the past, and I'm doing that in this example where no one else has played a card in the past. The next player to go doesn't have to play a card in the past. They can choose one of the other 3 tricks in which to play a card. They can do so to start a new trick in that time period if one hasn't been started, or they can play a card where they already know that, say, a green card has been played in the present. A green card was led in the present, and you keep track on these dials of which card was originally led in that area. And so I just really like this idea of tricks starting at different times and ending at different times based on when you are ready to play a card in them. You're kind of holding that information until you are ready to play a card in that specific trick. That's really cool in itself, but even cooler than that, I thought, was the Hedge Bid Mechanism. I don't know the official name of it in the game, but the idea of it is at the beginning of every round, you are going to guess bid how many hands, how many tricks you think you are going to win, and you're trying to guess the exact number. This is similar to games like Skull King and Wizard, where you're trying to say, okay, I think I can win 4 tricks this round. And you use little tokens to mark that you think you can win 4 tricks. And if you are correct, if you win exactly 4 tricks, you'll get 2 points per trick you guess correctly. However, there's also a hedge bid token. And so say you are really undecided between whether or not you think you can win 3 tricks or 4 tricks. You can take 3 bid tokens and 1 partial bid. We'll call it a hedge bid token. It looks a little different than the other ones. And that hedge bid token is the question. It means, okay, it could be a bid or it could not be. And you don't have to decide until the end of the round when you either win 3 or 4 tricks. The big catch, though, is that if you are correct, so if you end up winning 3 or 4 tricks in that example, you only gain 1 point per trick that you got correct. But I really like this mechanism. I mean, it was a really, really nice addition to a trick-taking game where you were bidding a certain amount, where you're guessing how many tricks you think you'll take that round. Because sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you're like, okay, I really can't decide between these 2 numbers, and I'd like a little bit of flexibility just so I get some points, even if it's not the maximum number of points. Really, really clever addition. I would love to see this in other trick-taking games where you have to guess how many cards you're going to take that round. Really clever addition. That is my favorite mechanism in Ghost of Christmas. And if you can think, I'm sure there are other games that do this. I'm just not aware of them. There are a lot of trick-taking games. If you can think of another trick-taking game, let me know in the comments below that does this, that has that mechanism. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks.